Hey guys, Daryl here. I wanted to take a little time to wish all the people who follow my page Happy New Year. I hope you are having a great New Year so far and getting after your fitness goals or health and wellness goals or whatever goals you have going on this year. I was reflecting upon 2025 and I really didn't post as much as I wanted to. And I wanted to change that this year, and I wanted to make it easy on myself, just because, work full time. A lot of you may or may not know I started grad school, and that's taken up a lot of my time as well. And I'm going to be talking more about that and how that kind of affects my outlook on my fitness career moving forward. But I don't want to go into detail about that right now. But what I'm planning on doing this year specifically is kind of giving you some insights into my own personal workouts and kind of using them as a teaching lesson that you could possibly apply to yourself. When I think about coaches and how they disseminate information to their clients or just the general public, one of the main things for me personally that I think really separates good coaches from great coaches is not like knowing the fundamentals and the basics. I mean, you need that as a baseline, but I feel like once you get to a certain level of experience and considering a lot of people, are pretty well versed in working out on their own, or they've worked with a coach before. And the industry itself is flooded with a lot of fitness professionals that have different opinions about different aspects of working out, nutrition, supplement, the whole gamut. But with all that said, I think one of the things that separates good coaches from great coaches is really knowing the little nuances and the little tweaks that you make, before your workout, within your workout, post-workout, overall recovery, stress management, so on and so forth. I can go on and on and on. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to tell you exactly what I did yesterday, and maybe something in, my approach to working out yesterday specifically can help you. So with that said, yesterday I did a leg recovery day, kind of a testing day. But if I were to backtrack 2 weeks ago, spending the holidays with my son, he wanted to play basketball. So we went to a basketball court. My parents' neighborhood, it's all concrete. I'm saying that for a reason. I haven't touched a basketball in over 10 years, haven't moved that way in over 10 years. But I did play basketball through college, so kind of had the muscle memory, kind of still had that mental, the mental part of the game was still there in the recesses of my mind, but my body was not, my body is fit for the gym, but it's not fit for playing basketball anymore, and definitely not on concrete. So anyway, long story short, we played 3 days, probably 3+ hours, and I was working out before that on top of all the basketball I was playing. Anyway, long story short, after those 3 sessions of playing basketball on the concrete, my legs really paid the price, a heavy price. Mainly I've had Austin Slaughter on my right knee pretty much for the majority of my life, and that's something that I manage really well working out. I've done all the research, I've been to orthopedics, so on and so forth. Then I kind of tweaked. So anyway, that kind of became inflamed and swollen. And then my left ankle, particularly the medial left ankle, which is pretty much posterior tibialis inflammation, or I probably developed a little bit of tendonitis there, basically. So those are the main thing. And then I kind of just felt an overall just dullness. And that's probably, what a lot of people in the fitness industry called central nervous system fatigue from doing all the jumping and cutting. I don't really work out like that anymore on a regular basis. So anyway, the following week, instead of doing there's no way I could do like what my regular leg days were. So I kind of took it easy. I did like the bicycle, and then I decided to like do kind of like a one exercise test, which is a wall sit. So like I'm just basically sitting in isometric contraction, and I'm holding it for 30 to 45 seconds, and I'm seeing if I can just hold my leg in a fixed position and not like going through the full range of motion, which can cause more inflammation, and just kind of test and see how my joints feel. So I did one set, I did 45 seconds. Now, one thing I'll tell you about myself, like I have a really high pain tolerance, which can really is really a detriment in a lot of ways because I ignore like a lot of pain cues. So anyway, I was really trying to like focus on being honest with, being connected to my body. So I said, no, I don't really think that I'm ready to resume like my normal leg workouts. So then fast forward another week, started off on the bike. Then I just started to do like non-compound leg exercises. So I did like leg extensions, leg curls, the adduction machine, seated calf raise. And then I finished with the wall sit again to see if I start to incorporate those compound movements again, how do I feel like just in a fixed position without any weight? So once I got to there's a couple of things. Leg extensions, I was able to do it, but my knee wasn't what I think it needed to be. Calf raises, ankle really wasn't where it needed to be. Wall sit, I was able to do it, but obviously from the leg extensions and seated calf raise, I really, if I'm being honest with myself, not really ready to resume normal leg workouts yet. But it was a good like testing session. Then the following day, which is today, I noticed like a lot of swelling in my right knee in particular. So that really told me that even like that testing session was too much. Now that's pretty much the workout. Let me talk a little bit about the other ancillary things I've been doing to kind of help me recover from this basically overuse injury on my right knee, left ankle. So I was already taking collagen and vitamin C. And if you don't know already, like taking vitamin C and collagen together works better synergistically than just taking collagen on its own. So I'm taking that before and during my workouts. And then on off days, I'm taking it right before bed because that can kind of help you recover when you sleep during the night. So that's one thing. Another thing that I was already doing, because like myself personally, like I am prone to cramps, especially like in the really hot Houston summers. But just in general, like I'm really prone to cramps, I guess, because of my workouts. And I think it might be somewhat genetic. And I don't want to go into that, but I was taking doctor prescribed salt tablets when I was in high school. So it is a thing. So I have these LMNT packets that I take pretty much post workout. And I have obviously continued to do that like post workout. And then sometimes I was doing it like during the workout too, just to give me some extra electrolytes. Because one of the things that I've started doing that I wasn't doing for a long time is I've kind of been sitting in the sauna just to kind of help loosen my body up. I kind of went away from it because without going off on another tangent, like I've kind of been like in a bulking stage for really like the last few years. Like I just want to be big. I've never been like the size that like I ultimately want to be. And so like I've really taken some time over the last few years to just really bulk. Like I haven't gone through any cutting phases in probably like the last 5 years or so. But I've maintained, like I haven't let my body fat go above like 15%. Anyway, with all of that said, I started doing the sauna again to help me loosen up, and I've already mentioned that. So definitely for that reason, like even taking the electrolyte post-workout is even more important. And so that's one thing that you can do too, to help you manage like your electrolyte balance, and especially like if for injury as well. And And then just obviously like other things like sleep, like you definitely need like 7 to 8 hours. I rarely get 8 hours. I do get 7 hours most days if I don't have a super crazy long day, or if I'm not up studying late. And I think that pretty much covers everything that I want to cover today. There's so many things I can talk about, but I wanted to try and keep it brief, concise, and to the point, and then allow for me to talk about other things like on other days. So anyway, you guys have a good night. It was nice chatting with you. You're going to be hearing more from me this year in this kind of format, because it's just easy for me to do like right after my workout. Anyway, have a good night. See you soon. Bye-bye. I know there was going to be a few things that I forgot. So to add to what I just said, immediately post-workout, I'm going to stretch before the sauna actually. Then after the sauna, when I get home, we're immediately going to ice. And then since my knee is experiencing swelling, I'll elevate it for about 15 minutes. Then this is optional based on if you have this equipment. I have a Theragun. I have the latest Theragun, which is amazing. If you have the budget for it, you should definitely get it. But it has the heat attachment. I think that's pretty much the only new feature. Oh, it has the infrared light. But the heating attachment is really clutch in giving you some additional circulation benefits in addition to the actual vibration. And what else? Oh, I also have a TENS stim machine. So the TENS is going to be like the low vibration setting. Of course, you can adjust the setting within the TENS option, but the TENS is more for rehab, and the stim is more for kind of like higher vibration, higher intensity electrical stim. So I've been doing the TENS unit on the affected muscles as well, and that just kind of helps promote healing basically. So if you have that device as well, if you have the budget for it, you should definitely you can definitely add that into your rehab regimen. Anyway, that's 100% it, and you guys have a good night. Bye bye.